In economics, we often talk about a circular flow of income and expenditure. This concept helps us understand how income earned by households is spent on goods and services, which in turn generates income for businesses. Every dollar spent by someone is ultimately income for someone else. This continuous cycle forms the basis of economic activity. Imagine a simple economy with just two groups, households and businesses. Households provide labor and other resources to businesses, earning wages, salaries and profits. Businesses use these resources to produce goods and services, which they sell back to households. The money spent by households becomes the revenue for businesses. Businesses then use this revenue to pay for resources, including wages, to their workers. This circular flow illustrates the fundamental relationship between income and expenditure in an economy. They are two sides of the same coin. When we measure one, we are essentially measuring the other. This understanding is crucial for comprehending the concept of gross domestic product, or GDP. Gross domestic product, or GDP, is the total market value of all final goods and services produced within a country's borders during a specific period, typically a year. It's a comprehensive measure of a nation's economic activity and is used to track economic growth and compare the economic performance of different countries. GDP is a vital economic indicator. It provides insights into the overall health and size of an economy. A growing GDP generally indicates an expanding economy with more goods and services being produced, more people employed, and higher incomes. Conversely, a shrinking GDP signals a contraction often associated with job losses, reduced output, and lower living standards. Governments, businesses, and investors closely monitor GDP figures to make informed decisions. Understanding GDP is essential for anyone wanting to grasp the dynamics of an economy. Measuring GDP might seem complex, but the basic idea is straightforward. We need to calculate the total value of everything produced in a country. However, there are a few key principles to keep in mind. Firstly, GDP only includes the market value of final goods and services. This means intermediate goods, those used in the production of other goods, are excluded to avoid double counting. For instance, the value of steel used to manufacture a car is not counted separately because it's already reflected in the car's final price. Secondly, GDP only considers production that takes place within a country's geographical boundaries, regardless of the nationality of the producers. This means the output of a foreign-owned factory operating within a country is included in that country's GDP. Finally, GDP is measured over a specific time frame, typically a year or a quarter. This allows us to track changes in economic activity over time. By comparing GDP figures from different periods, we can determine whether an economy is growing or shrinking.